1. Graph the line that passes through those 2 points and determine the equation of the line. Oh, so I guess I should do this on here first. Okay, so when we're graphing those 2 points, to show you how to do the graph on Delta Math, you can just use your mouse and click on those 2 points. So -4, -6 is left 4 and down 6. So I'm just gonna put a dot there on -4, -6. And then 8, 6, we go 8 to the right and 6 up. So it's right there, and as you see, Delta Math automatically connects it for you with a perfectly straight line, so you don't have to worry about not having a ruler like me. And then now I'm going to screenshot it so that we can work on the equation together. Okay, so to work on the equation, if we want to do the basic form of y equals mx plus b, like we've been doing, we need to find the slope, which is our m, and we need to find our b value, which, does anybody remember what the b value is? Just shout it out.
The y-intercept?
Yes, so somebody typed it, somebody said it also. Yes, the y-intercept. Good, I'll write that here. Cool, so we can see our y-intercept by looking for where our graph touches the y-axis. Just to remind you guys, this vertical one is the y-axis, okay? So I highlighted it. Now I'm going to take it away because it kind of blurs things out. But where does ours touch? Or where does my example touch? Because I know you have a different example. -2, good. Yes, somebody typed it in the chat, so I just read it out loud just in case you didn't see it. So y is equal to mx and then plus a -2, so I'm going to write -2, just because when you add a negative, it's really just you're subtracting it. So we found our y-intercept. Now we have to find our slope. So I think we had some practice finding our slope in the last homework, where you have to find some boxes where or find some points on our graph where it's perfectly on the grid, and then you can just count how far up and how far down. So I picked these 2 spots because they are both on exact points, and then from here we can just count how far up, how far down, how far left, how far right. So if I were to connect this with a triangle, I could go like that. And then if I'm reading it from left to right, so I start over here, I go up 1, and then I go continuing right 1. Do you guys have any questions on that part? Okay. If you do, feel free to interrupt me because I can't see your faces right now. I don't know if you're nodding, shaking your head, whatever you're doing. But let's translate this up 1, right 1 into a slope fraction. So remember that slope is rise over run. And so if we're going up 1, that's a positive rise, so +1. And then over the run, which is the left-right direction, if we're going right 1, that's also a +1. So up and right are both positives. And then we can simplify 1 divided by 1, that's just 1. So our slope, or my slope, sorry, because I have a different picture than you, my slope is 1. Now let's zoom out and write it into our equation. Y is equal to, the slope we found was just 1, x, and then -2. So once again, this 1 that I'm underlining is our slope. This -2 that I'm underlining is the y-intercept. Now we can simplify this further, but as we saw from the last example, if you type 1x is totally fine. I think Delta Math would accept that. But if I wanted to simplify it, which I do, I would write y is equal to x minus 2. Because 1x is the same thing as just regular x. You don't have to write the 1, it's redundant. Any questions on this one? Okay, let's enter this into Delta Math. Y is equal to, I'm just going to try it with 1, x minus 2, because I don't care if I get it wrong. It's not really affecting me. Okay, so it does accept it with the 1 in there, but you don't have to. You could simplify it further. And they picked completely different points than we picked. All right. So let's stop the recording for this one.